few months back, someone DM'd me asking, dude, have you heard about Sisu? I was like, no, I haven't heard about it. He goes, it's like Finnish John Wick, except he's killing Nazis. And I thought to myself, sold, I gotta check that one out. Well, I was able to watch it, so let's talk about it. Hi, my name is Sean, and I love to talk about movies and TV way too much. With that in mind, go ahead and join me down below in the comments section. Share your thoughts on the movie Sisu if you've seen it. Otherwise, what's your favorite action movie of the last decade? With that said, let's just go ahead and get started, and I'll just cut right to the chase. I thought this movie was an absolute blast, but you have to go into this movie knowing it is utterly ridiculous. And part of the fun of the movie is that it has this main character who is able to survive all sorts of insane, crazy things. He's able to kill off all these people in that very John Wick sort of way, but it plays it dead serious. It plays it straight. So you're watching these insane feats of survival without it winking at the camera, without it acknowledging the fact that, what? That's unbelievable. And for some people, they'll watch it and they'll be like, this, I can't believe any of this. But you have to go in knowing you're watching something ridiculous and unbelievable. And if you can do that, this movie is an absolute blast. Now, the comparison to John Wick, it's in that sense of you have this person with a mysterious past who's wronged and is this unstoppable killing machine. In that regard, it's very much like John Wick. But when it comes to the actual style of the film, incredibly different. The pacing, the nature of the action, very different vibes. The John Wick movies have this very fast-paced, modern way of doing things, where it's very stylized choreography, very long action sequences. When you get to this movie, it's not really like that. It pulls more inspiration really from like Westerns from the 60s and 70s, like Sergio Leone's Dollars trilogy, kind of this nature of this quiet character and slow tension, then these bursts of ultra violence. It's more along those lines than the quick-paced John Wick style of action. But that's almost kind of the appeal of it, because it builds tension. You see a scenario unfold where you know that our character's in danger, and you're just waiting to find out, what is he gonna do? Like, you know it's gonna go bad for that person in front of him, but when is that gonna happen? And how's he gonna get out of it? And the whole movie just comes up with these insane actions that he takes in order to survive and to kill people. Another comparison that I heard someone make as we were coming out of the theater, she said it had a lot of even almost like Mad Max influences here. And my brain didn't immediately go to that, but I can kind of see what they're talking about, because the way the story is told, our lead character has almost no dialogue. Says almost nothing in the film. So the story is really being told, and the dialogue is all these other people discussing him. And that's kind of like with Mad Max. He's not a person of many words. He's a person of action that just kind of gets swept in this adventure. That's kind of what happens here, of this guy that gets swept up into this adventure, trying to protect his gold. And it's an interesting way to do a movie, because you're so compelled by this guy. He's so mysterious because he doesn't say anything, and everyone around him is talking about him. It's kind of just a fascinating way to kind of do things. So I had a lot of fun with that. Of course, you have to talk about the kills, the gore, and these feats of survival. And I have to be so clear about this. You have to know you're going in to watch an unbelievable film. Especially early on, it plays it so straight that it feels like you're in a grounded movie. This is not a grounded movie. It just plays like a grounded movie. So almost immediately there just starts being things happening. You go, what? Wouldn't that kill him? You just have to accept this guy can survive throughout the whole movie. And that's the fun of it. What insane thing are they going to come up with for a justification of how he survives this scenario and how he's going to start taking people out? And He doesn't kill anyone the same way twice. They don't repeat any action sequences. They keep finding these new things for him to do that are all, if you like over-the-top gruesome violence, it'll put a big gigantic grin on your face. As for me, as someone that loves action movies, that can suspend a lot of disbelief that if it means that my tough guy is able to kill a bunch of people, I'm all on board with it. Also, they have a little bit of a subplot in here involving some women that are captives. They find some real nice ways to kind of pay that off with where the story goes. And without ever making our lead too heroic, they make him heroic just enough to make it without compromising who he is and established to be, but also be awesome. I always love movies where there's the mysterious person and it's revealed that they actually have this incredible set of skills. It's kind of an action movie cliche of sorts, but it works every time for me. And they do that real nicely with this guy. Once again, because he's not saying anything to make him scary. Everyone else is talking about how dangerous he is. And I thought that was just loved that that's the way that it played out. So very simple, straightforward story. Not like designed to be a character piece. There's not an exploration of the horrors of war, anything like that. This is an action movie that's totally ridiculous, but feels fresh in its own way because it is pulling from all of these kind of older films with a slower pacing, different way of doing the action sequences, but still delivering that hardcore, intense kills that you want from a modern day rated R action film. Another interesting detail, because of the environment of where they're filming it, it looks really cool. It has a great aesthetic to it that once again is radically different from the aesthetic of like John Wick movies. That is the number one comparison that this movie will be John Wick, especially because they ran the trailers for Sisu in front of John Wick Chapter 4. But it just feels different because of the pacing, because of the environment, the cinematography, so many other reasons. It just plays. It's very bare bones. John Wick has all this kind of layered mythology and lore. This is just straightforward. It's this one guy and the legends surrounding him and the lengths he will go to survive. And some of them are truly just like so insane that my audience was howling in laughter. That's the kind of movie you're in for, where you're howling in laughter at the absurdity of what's kind of going down with some of this stuff. Now, I don't have any specific negatives to it except to say that it's just ridiculous. It's not trying to be the greatest action movie of all time. It's not trying to have the most complex story. And what he does defies all logic in any sense of the term. So you have to be able to accept that. Some people won't. They'll watch it and be like, no. Or maybe you think it's a little bit too slow paced. As for me, I absolutely dug what this movie was trying to deliver for me. If you like action movies, absolutely go check this one out. Overall, I'll give this one a B+ on the entertainment scale and 8 out of 10. And action movie fans, go see this movie. If you're kind of more on the fence, not super into action, maybe wait to check it out when it comes to streaming. I had a blast with it as someone that absolutely loves ridiculous action movies. If you enjoyed this video, I've got more like it. You can check it out somewhere over there. Thank you guys so much for watching. Keep talking movies and TV too much. Bye-bye.